Well, look on the bright side. Things could be worse. You still could be using one of these. Hey, what's up to all my luscious fans? Steve Alicious here, back with the Unihertz Titan Pocket with some unfortunate news. I mean, if you own one, then you know the news already. Despite not getting a text message from AT&T, despite having the voice over LTE symbol in the top right corner with my AT&T SIM, this device was kicked off of AT&T. And I know I'm not the only one, because Unihertz has tweeted about that. But if you're a Unihertz Titan Pocket owner, I want to know in the comment section below if you actually got a text message. Because unlike my other legacy devices and not legacy devices that I had kicked off the AT&T network, I didn't even get a text. They didn't even bother. And I got to think it's because it supports voice over LTE. It was using voice over LTE on their network. So said the symbol. Unihertz says it supports it. AT&T says, we'll kick it off the network either way. Very strange. Very strange. And that really, it goes in sync with a comment that I got on the AT&T video a little earlier today. Someone finally got to a point with tech support. They just flat out asked them, what's the deal here? And tech support broke down and told them, yeah, we understand that technically it will be able to work, but we just don't want to. They just want to force you to either buy a new device or switch, which is really dumb. So if you haven't already switched to T-Mobile or somebody else, Mint Mobile or something like that supports your Titan Pocket, hold on a few moments, because Unihertz is at least working on it, which is good to see. They put out a Twitter message that was, which was a little funny, because it was essentially asking, hey, does anyone know a guy? Does anyone have a number of a guy at AT&T we could call up? Because they're jumping up and down saying, we have the technology, we have the bands in here, this should be supported on your network. They just have to have it certified by AT&T because of these hoops that they're trying to make manufacturers jump through. To Unihertz's credit, they're willing to do it. They're being proactive for a boutique phone maker that Kickstarter campaigns for their devices, not in this country, for them to actually care enough about the consumer, the people who had purchased their product already, really says something. And I've really been impressed with Unihertz overall and the job that they've done. I was a little hesitant early on when they first came out with the original Titan, because I thought maybe it was a nostalgia grab. Maybe it was just giving people an Android with a keyboard just to go ahead and collect those dollars and then kind of ride off into the sunset. The device was solid, was incredibly well built. I didn't like the support. It kind of got lackluster support on the Android side as far as the updates were concerned. So that made me think it was a one-off, and then they were just going to go off and make more jellies or whatever it is that they were working on. But then they came out with the Titan Pocket, and they've done a relatively good job supporting it. I understand it's tough. They probably have a limited amount of pool of talent that they could pull on from Android for an Android distribution. But what they've been able to do with updates, keeping it on Android 11, having it be a snappy performance, and standing behind the devices that they sell has been good. The only thing that you'd want to see maybe from them is if they were able to build up an Android distribution from scratch and heavily skin it to where it would handle the smaller form factor better like BB10 did, but that's a huge undertaking. And then you got to have all the people to do it, all the engineers. Then it's going to take that much longer to get updates out. So I understand why that'd be a headache, and that's really all the more you can ask from them, because they do smaller things here and there in their skin that they have to make it easier for physical keyboard users on the Titan Pocket, which is nice. So they don't leave you completely out to dry. So I appreciate them going on there and wanting to at least work with AT&T through their ridiculous standards that they're setting up seemingly on the fly. Originally, I thought when I went ahead and said on videos that we would be okay and Titan Pocket people would be okay going ahead and buying this device on AT&T because it had voice over LTE in the top right hand. It recognized it. The network already recognized it. And I have to believe that's why I didn't get a text. So originally, I guess I was naive enough to think that it was about the tech when it came to AT&T and them wanting to improve the quality of the network. I knew it wasn't totally about that. But now I know it's totally the opposite. It's just about getting those dollars. So here's what I would do. Make sure, if you didn't get a text, because I can't believe I'm alone in that, not getting a text, because this probably was recognized by the network before they started just arbitrarily shutting things off for voice over LTE. If you didn't get a text, make sure you call up AT&T and get yourself a free phone. Get yourself anything. I know it's going to be painful. Get yourself the AT&T Calypso or Magistrate or whatever the weird names they had on those devices. Get yourself the $10 phone. Use it for just a little bit. Give Unihertz a chance if you want to stay with AT&T. If you don't, if you're frustrated, if you're fed up, don't blame you. Go ahead and put your T-Mobile, port your number, put your T-Mobile SIM in this tomorrow and go about your business and kick AT&T to the curb. But if you can't, for work purposes, if you have multiple lines, if you have lines with family members that still have payments that they're making on devices, whatever the case may be, and you need to stick with AT&T, then go ahead, get that free device, use the SIM, use your number, and hang on for Unihertz because they're coming. And that's all you can ask. That's really all you can ask of them. And I really appreciate them for sticking behind a product and sticking also with a user base with physical keyboards that's been abandoned by pretty much everybody else. So not only are they giving us these legacy form factors like the Titan Pocket, but they're supporting them and they're hanging and they're sticking with us, which I really appreciate. I was glad. It was an amusing tweet to see because you have this company that literally puts out the phones asking people on Twitter if they had any contacts at AT&T to go ahead and get their phones certified for voice over LTE. But kudos for trying. They're standing in the street. They're pounding the drum. They're doing what they can to raise attention to this and go ahead and get these phones on the network because they used that as a selling point. They said they're voice over LTE capable to kind of future-proof them, and they're standing by it, and they're making noise saying, hey, get our phones on there. We will certify. Meet us halfway. Tell us what we need to do. AT&T, the ball's in your court. I understand it's just a pure money grab for you at this point because it's not about the tech, but these people are trying. People have these devices. There's not a lot of options out there that are going to work on your network for physical keyboards, if any. So go ahead and give us a break. It's not that hard. If you've made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until next time, have that Steve-alicious day.